Greetings everyone, we are back with more of the Outer Worlds. Last we left off, we finished off all of our errands on Monarch and got a new quest from Miss Lilia Hagen for the Sublight faction to go essentially reclaim a derelict space station. I kind of want to do that real quick, because that'll lead to more business in Byzantium. So let's go do that. Is that what our current quest is, actually? The City in the Stars. I also kind of want to do Murder on Eridanos. I don't know, maybe I'll leave that and just be its own thing. Ice Palace. Because the next step of our two companion quests are going to be in Byzantium. There we go.
We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it as normal etheric static.
Yep, we're sticking with Ellie and Parvati, our usual suspects.
Quiet as the grave in here. We should get the power generator going again. Might cheer up the place.
A lot of dead robots. Or I guess decommissioned. Shipment manifest. They got a shipment of explosives. There is no way in hell that ended Porta. The old little sewer access. Oh, we have enemies ahead. Can somebody shoot that, please? No, I'm sitting here like I don't have anything. Oh wait, I do have my heavy ammo assault rifle. I keep forgetting I'm packing this, if nothing else, for the purpose of disabling landmines. All of these doors are sealed. I assume they're sealed until we get the power up and running again, so I guess that's what I should be doing instead of fucking around.
Let's give these little fellas a wide berth, Captain.
Interesting, okay. I can't seem to be able to activate anything from that terminal. I'm taking some hits. And due to the way I built my character, I can't really start healing until I start offing people. So, I don't know, here we are. I mean, I am chocked full of adreno time, so, like, if we get there... Oh, excuse the cough. Here we are. This place is definitely not shady in the slightest. Modify generator mode, optional. Maintenance logs. View facility status report. Repair toilet.
Captain, I've been attempting to contact you with urgent news. However, communicational functionality was impaired due to the power outage.
What's going on, Ada?
A UDL vessel has been tracking our position and just recently docked with the station. They are patching into the station's transmission lines now. I cannot stop.
I've been waiting for this day since we tagged your ship in Cascadia, Captain. So glad we finally have this opportunity. My ship is docked with 1084. There's no escape.
I think you've got the wrong gal.
I think not. The refueling system at Cascadia's landing pad logs your ship ID.
Damn it.
You've been poking your nose into restricted locations. This makes my superiors unhappy. I could peel your ship open like a can of force. But I'm in a sporting mood.
What was that? You want me to hit this big self-destruct button?
I didn't say that. How did you gain access to that system? Stop it at once.
I'ma press it. Welcome to hell, Commander. Just kidding. Yeah, I'll hit a random key.
Did you hit it yet? What's happening in there?
I'm just fucking with you.
I don't know who you are, but I have nothing to gain by risking my hide against a lunatic. Commander out.
The UDL gunship is undocking from the station. They appear to be departing into space.
Nice. I've never been great at de-escalation.
I don't know that was de-escalation, Ellie.
That does it. Time for a drink? Don't mess with us.
I need to shut these sons of bitches down. Oh, I didn't get these monies. Security routines. Engage automechanical recharge protocols. Messages. Cool. Got all my health back. Successfully deactivated all those other robots so that I don't have to deal with them. Looks like I'm requiring board ID for a lot of these.
Step lively, Captain. Floor's got teeth.
Floor's got teeth. I'll have to remember that very lovely euphemism for anti-personnel landmines. Thank you for that, Pravati. Security routines. Disengage checkpoint security. Personal files. Log Mama Bear. Looks like we had some inter-office corporate beef between the scientists and the administrators. Which happens because fuck the administrators. I like to always leave these open so I can keep track of where I've been. Also so I can run and hide in these if it ever gets too hairy.
been left here all alone.
Oh, so the scientists are just in suspended animation. This is creepy as shit. Dr. Charles McNulty. Ava Chartrand, Lorelei Fall. What the hell? Claire Parcel. Human experimentation for the win, I guess. I guess it's the same shit that was going on in the secret UDL laboratory. Or was that Rizzo's? I don't remember now. Security routine. Unlock personal quarters. Modify system access protocol. Insert sublight insert sublight override chip. Let's see, project summary. So they were experimenting on people to better acclimate them to Halcyon to kind of overcome their famine issues. Logs, Charlie. Claire. James. Access outbound com transcript.
It's done. Now let's go get our money before Sublight sees what a creepy dump this place is.
Hold on a tick. Don't we know Chartrand from Cascadia?
Yes, we do, Parvati. I'm glad you remembered. Spectrum vodka. Researcher's mask. Why am I getting enemy readings? Who is on this ship? I mean, no, we checked everywhere. We haven't missed any robots. I don't understand why we're getting enemy beeps, but okay. Whatever. Use terminal, encode keycard, messages. Personnel files, James Guthrie. Note on Chief Kimball. Blank UDL key. Can I encode it? Encode keycard. Alright, now I have a UDL key in case I ever need it again. Which I doubt, but I have it. The Ice Palace. Alright, back to Lilia Hagen.
I wish to offer my commendations for convincing the UDL's gunship to leave HRS-1084. I did not favor the idea of being stripped and sold for parts.
Hephaestus, Tartarus, Olympus, Typhon.
The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
I don't know when I'll be back to those spots. I genuinely don't even know how much. Words are hard. I don't even know how much, like, hacking materials I have. Good old Martin Callahan. Still waiting for the day he snaps. Hello, Lilia.
Finally, a base of our own. Soon we'll have eyes on every corner of the system. Well done, Captain.
You will also find some automatic salvage awaiting new orders.
I'll have
or
those
owners.
dismantled. You can never be too careful when moving into someone else's territory. Aside from the automated security, did you meet any resistance at the station?
A UDL gunship buzzed the station, but I convinced them to back off.
I knew it. They've been shadowing us since Monarch, maybe even longer. I've been less than honest with you. Your assignments weren't strictly about the salvage business. You might have figured that out already.
I had an inkling. Rare gas in a lab that tested on people couldn't have been a coincidence.
You have an eye for patterns. Good. We need more contractors like you. After the Monarch job, I started connecting the dots. I didn't like the picture. Then what we found at Station 1084 confirmed my fears. You and I have stumbled onto something big. Something none of us were meant to know.
You had my interest, now you have my attention.
Glad to know it, Captain. Ask yourself why a skeleton crew was studying that Alta Vitae gas in secret. Ask yourself why stockpiles were hidden on a planet full of monsters.
I'm guessing you have an idea?
Before we go any further, I want you to keep an open mind. Can you do that for me, Captain?
I can try. Anything for you, Lilia. I can do that.
Aliens. I'm talking about aliens. They're the ones responsible for the deaths at 1084, and who knows what else. We have to put a stop to it.
They're not aliens. Aliens.
I'm saying it's aliens. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not even asking you to believe it. But I need to act on this threat to the colony, and I can't do it alone.
Well, at least she doesn't expect us to believe it.
This doesn't feel at all right, Captain. The crew is skeptical. That's good. I don't want you walking into the unknown with blindfolds on. I assume you have questions?
A few.
If we're gonna see this through, I'll need your trust and commitment. Now's the time for setting doubts aside.
When you say aliens, what are we talking about here?
Conspiracy. One carried out with the help of human collaborators, assuming they haven't all been replaced. This is an invasion of our very cells. That damned gas is mixing our nucleon with Halcyon biology to twist us, change us, make us more like those monsters on Monarch.
The little green bastards must pay. You know what? It doesn't hurt me to, like, fuck with her and humor her.
Terrific. That go-getter initiative will carry you far in Sublight.
How do you know I'm not an alien spy on a mission to silence you?
Sharing my findings took a calculated risk. If you were a spy, I doubt you'd even realize it. Only your cells would know.
Well, that's comforting.
Probably nothing to worry about, as long as you don't start growing tentacles or slowing down time.
Enough. Tell me what needs to be done.
Dr. Chartrand is the crooked psychopath behind the gas experiments. She sold out her species, and I need you to put a bullet through her skull.
Why does Dr. Chartrand need to die?
She's a research scientist and a damn good one. Before UDL poached her, she engineered a 0.2% increase in cystipig juiciness. Now she's doing the same thing with humanity. Her fingerprints were all over Station 1084. You saw what she did to her team.
Your concern for the fate of our species is admirable, Lilia.
You've got me all wrong. I just want to add Savior of Humanity to my resume. I've got ambitions outside of this office, you know. Besides, this way Sublight gets first dibs on alien salvage.
The labs I passed through didn't seem that evil.
Do you usually come across innocent people trapped in suspension tanks? Because some of us would call that excessive. Remember, the tanks were just the shit she left behind. Just imagine the experiments she carted off to her next lab.
Where does Chartrand fit into your alien conspiracy theory?
We're far beyond theories. Chartrand's logs, the gas, the suspension tanks, how much proof do you need? Wake up, Captain. An invasion needs collaborators working from the shadows. She has access to the board, unlimited funds, and a colony full of sheep.
Murder isn't covered under my contractor employment agreement.
Just think of it as salvaging hope from the smoking wreckage of humanity. This is your initiation into a future with Sublight. Want a steady position in our ranks? Buy one with a bullet.
I can do that. What do I get for joining up?
Well, there's your usual fee. What else do you want? A promotion? It's yours. Even better. I'll owe you one.
Sounds messy, but I'll take the job.
This key card will get you through the front door of her Byzantine estate. Don't ask how I got it. You might not like the answer. By now, the other side knows what you're doing. Don't trust anything Chartrand says. She's compromised down to the bone. Maybe even deeper than that.
I knew it was too much to ask to have a second well-adjusted, competent person on the Groundbreaker. Actually, that's a lie. Junlei and Gladys have their shit together. Actually, let me talk to the, what's his name, Udford, the corporate shell. Maybe he has a questicle or two for me. I haven't spoken to him in a spell.
How do you do?
Udam.
Oh.
Udam Bedford.
How might I assist you?
Oh no, you have nothing for me. I'm not gonna narc out Wells. Now, it does seem like everyone more or less volunteered for Chartrand's experiments and that she, you know, was remorseful about it. Not, you know, a whole mad scientist kind of vibe. That said, she is a bored stooge. And what is one life compared to a lucrative future with Sublight? And even though she did turn out to be a little batshit, I really like Lilia, so... Let's talk, Ada.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
You mentioned an either wave drama. I'd like to see it.
Certainly, Captain. I was hoping you would ask.
Rizzo's presents Murder on Eridanos. Halcyon Helen vs. the Brain Eaters, Part 2, starring Ruth Bethany as Halcyon Helen.
It was the law-forsaken parasites. I had become obsessed. My quest to stop them. To avenge my partner, Philip. And my ex-partner, Bernice. And Lieutenant Jurgen. And those two informants had brought me to Rizzo's distillery. But it wasn't just the triple distilled deliciousness of Rizzo's Spectrum brand vodka that I found there. It was death. I made sure the Brain Eaters paid the price. But at what cost to me? It's you.
This is the Halcyon News Network with breaking news. Halcyon Helen has been murdered. Administrator Ludovico of Rizzo's refused to answer the big question on everyone's mind. Who will Spectrum Vodka's next spokesperson be? Claiming that a special investigation must be concluded first.
Captain, we have a communication coming in from one Administrator Ludovico.
Get off the transmission, Cedric. We agreed to let me do the negotiating. Law be with you, friend. I am Administrator Ludovico of the famed Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. But there's no need to stand on formality. You may address me as Mr.
Let me guess, this is about Halcyon Helen's murder?
Her death is the tragedy of our lifetime. As the face of our new product line, her murder is a stain on the Rizzo's brand. She was scheduled to unveil our newest product, Spectrum Brown, before this tragic event. But we cannot move forward with our unveiling until we apprehend the killer.
And your first thought was to come to me? What?
All right, Ludovico, that's enough. You don't know what you're doing. Let me handle this. Captain Hawthorne, Sublight's favorite freelancer. I'm such an admirer of your work.
That is not my name.
Cedric Kincannon, Sublight Underground. I'm so glad we're hiring a third-party investigator. No one wants to see a troop of UDL guards stomping all over my hotel. Least of all me. The murder of Halcyon Helen is a heinous assault on this colony. I look forward to watching you find the miscreant responsible and drag them out of the shadows.
I'm having trouble seeing the death of a two-bit actor as an assault on the colony. I've never heard of Sublight Underground.
Don't worry. You and I are going to become very close acquaintances. I run the Grand Colonial Hotel and Piraeus Spaceport. Ludovico and I are business partners, in a manner of speaking. Eridanos is our shared responsibility.
Eridanos is not our shared responsibility. Eridanos is my responsibility, to which you and your organization have latched on like a parasite.
Please, Lou. Sublight Underground is built on discretion. I'm establishing rapport with our new contractor. Let's not give her the impression that you can't be trusted.
You motherfuckers are bad at this.
You really want to do this right now, Cedric? You want to antagonize me while I'm negotiating a contract. Because I promise you, I'll win.
Gentlemen, please, as far as I'm concerned, you're both idiots.
First sensible thing I've heard all day. My apologies, Mr. Ludovico. That was unprofessional of me. Captain, I'm Constable Maria Keene. Hiring a third-party investigator was my idea. I've been studying your dossier. You are an extraordinary scientist. If your talents extend to forensics, then you may be exactly what we need. far as I'm concerned, you're the ideal inspector for this case.
I'm on the case. Inspector Victoria. I like the sound of that.
I'm pleased to hear that.
Shut up.
The
You're a
future
fool.
of our complex may depend on your success. I'll leave you in the constable's care. Mr. Kincannon and I must have a word.
Fine. Bud Rizzo's is paying for that hotel room.
I can't tell you how grateful I am for your help. And even though they may not show their gratitude, I know Administrator Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon appreciate your involvement. Mr. Kincannon could lose his spaceport if board authorities took over the investigation, and if Rizzo's is forced to cancel its unveiling, we might never recover.
Helen must have been pretty popular if her death could put an end to your operations.
Helen was more than popular. She gave something to this colony that no product line could ever provide. Real happiness. No one has ever been as well known or as well loved. Outside of our courageous business leaders.
You seem competent. You could have dealt with this.
I represent the law, Captain. But what's happening between Mr. Kincannon and the Administrator is politics. Politics are not my area of expertise. The law is simple. Politics are complicated.
You sound a bit worn out.
Me? Worn out? Perish the notion. My days are filled with catering to the oh-so-reasonable requests of Mr. Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon. What's not to like?
They seem like jackasses.
Your words, not mine. Please don't take my lack of disagreement as anything other than fatigue. I am a content, productive, and happy member of our society.
I am so sorry, Keen. Those two seem to have some issues.
The Administrator oversees Rizzo's operations. Cedric runs the hotel and the spaceport. They're always at each other's throats. My life would be so much easier if they'd simply learn to work together.
What if I just killed them both? Allegedly. Relax, there's nothing I can't handle.
I'm pleased to hear that. From everything I've heard, you're a competent freelancer. And at the risk of sounding impertinent, we desperately need the help of someone competent. Thank you for your time, Captain. Whenever you're ready, I've authorized the Unreliable to land at the Grand Colonial.
Alright, I've got everything I need.
Transmission terminated. Captain, we are now cleared to land at the Eridanos Atmospheric Complex.
What can you tell me about Eridanos?
Eridanos is a hydrogen-helium gas giant, distinguished by a well-defined ring system. The Eridanos Atmospheric Complex is a system of land masses propelled through a thin layer of the upper atmosphere, where humans are potentially capable of surviving.
I don't know why they're trusting me to catch Halcyon Helen's killer.
There are several reasons why someone would hire your services. In descending order of likelihood, they are as follows: desperation, confusion, mistaken identity, inebriation, and genuine faith in your abilities.
I appreciate your candor, Ada. Let's see. Lie, intimidate, lockpick, hack. Alright, yeah, engineering is at hundo. Medical and that are fine. Alright, so yeah, let's start getting a lockpick and hack up there. Murder on Eridanos. Yeah, we're not doing that. Let's go to Byzantium.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
This is gonna end poorly for everyone involved. Hello, Carmen.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone.
Yeah, that someone is me. Yeah, Phineas sent me.
Shh. No names, okay?
There are so many Phineases.
The Phoenix is a wanted man, and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium.
The Phoenix?
Yeah. That's my code name for... you know, our mutual friend.
Apt. What's your code name?
Oh. I'm Golden Eagle.
Nice. Do I have a code name?
Yeah. I named you Cuckoo.
Seriously?
It makes sense if you think about it, because I didn't know who you were, and old Earth cuckoos would routinely trick other birds into feeding them.
I mean, I did fly over their nest. No way, I'm Golden Eagle. You can be Cuckoo.
That doesn't even make... Fine. Fine.
Does this mean I'm supposed to have one too? Fine, but make it a really good one.
You can be Nightingale.
Let's go with Rufus Hummingbird.
Forget it. Codenames are for amateurs anyway.
Too late. I've already marked it off. Can't just go reassigning code names.
Oh, can I be Chicken? Because chickens will adopt any critter's baby and keep him warm.
You sure you don't want to be Raven or Sparrowhawk?
Aw.
Okay. Chicken it is. Anyway, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded.
There's gotta be a way to catch the minister somewhere less protected.
Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home, and his guards never leave him.
Can't say I blame him. It's scary out of doors. I mean, can you even count how many times we've been shot at?
What work specialists, huh? Our mutual friend is really branching out.
How exactly did you get involved in all this?
I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
I meant intrigue, not birds.
11 flavors of terror rays and not much else. That kind of variety? I mean, gosh, seems almost impossible.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators.
When they die off, it's a sign that something's wrong.
Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see.
Like what?
For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
That's what capitalism does, baby.
And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course.
That's not right.
I mean, there's a shredder at the bottom of the box, so I don't know what you'd expect to happen. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it, and since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got.
I bet your repair folks couldn't find parts. Back in Edgewater, I'd have to take something apart just to put another thing back together.
Might have been the paperwork. Here, you have to append forms to your forms, and law help you if there's a single dash out of place.
A regular tragedy.
At first, management put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
If you ask me, the suggestion box is pretty useless to begin with.
I don't know how else people are supposed to complain about things they can't change, but that's not the point. The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing?
Literally anything. This place is a shit show.
I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really.
Can you get me into the minister's estate?
Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence.
I don't know if I would call what you provide me intelligent. Okay, so what can you tell me?
Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking.
Thanks for the tip.
Just remember, you didn't hear it from me.
Okay, I came up with it. Looks like I got work to do.
Good hunting, Golden Eagle.
Thanks, Cuckoo. Yeah, fuck it, I can stick a plasma on there. Then plasma launcher. It's already doing plasma damage, and I already have a magnum on it, so doesn't super matter much. Let's see all of our armors. I have toughened, improved tech kit. Really nothing for it. Corporate technician. Let's see.
You still tinkering with that?
It's not gonna fix itself.
Don't we have...
Is there anyone else I should have a word with? Here in the docking area. Apparently not. Alright, so I can get going. Street access. Retirees. I'm looking to see if anybody has like an actual name that I can speak to. Corporate Sentinel, Corporate Technician. Requires docking bay terminal codes. Alright, you ready for some Byzantium action? This makes me miss the Mass Effect elevator conversations.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once? Nothing wrong.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! The million-bit smile? How'd you like to make it worth 10 million?
I'm listening.
Kid, you got presence. Natural magnetism. Know what I mean?
I like where this is going.
Tell you what, you're gonna like it a whole lot more once we start talking bits. Listen, you got an agent? Some kind of representation?
I consider myself freelance.
Fresh, natural talent. I know it when I see it. Listen, you got a real special quality, raw energy. I see you in pictures, kid.
The moving pictures? Just tell me what you're offering.
I'm making a feature, Space Pirates of Moros Prime. It's gonna be a hit. But we still need a star. And I think you got the chops.
Ah! Captain! You're gonna be in pictures!
Already got an entourage, huh? Way to get ahead of the game. So what do you say? You ready for the chance of a lifetime?
One sec, folks. Just gotta take a quick phone call. Sorry about that, y'all. Thank you for your patience. Just had to really take that phone call. I'm in.
Terrific. We're holding auditions at the studio. Head to Odeon Pictures and take the elevator. You're going all the way to the top, baby.
Attend the audition.
Is that supposed to be a model of the system? Not super accurate.
Prosperity Plaza.
The lady who got her hand caught in the gears. Idiot was more worried about her rings than her fingers.
Forsyth Luxury Munitions. Ooh. Winston Forsyth.
Looking for weapons? You've come to the right place. Every Byzantine needs high-quality armaments, and you won't find better anywhere else.
What do people around here need weapons for?
Why, to defend their property, of course.
Oh, jeepers.
50-bit says he's got a heart on right now.
Byzantium is the best of what Halcyon has to offer. It's up to us to protect it.
Protect it from what?
Marauders, dissidents, especially large sprats. One never knows what threat might arise.
Smart man.
One can never be too well armed. Who knows when the hordes may hurl themselves at our gates?
Let me see what you got. I don't have anything to sell you. You have Mark II plasma launchers, but I'm sure I'll find one of those on my own. The Exterminator. Ooh. Yeah, I'll take the Exterminator. Post-armor damage, note to say chart. What? The pink slip? Well, sir, don't mind if I do. I assume I can't take... Alright, so let's take a look. Oh, it's like a sniper rifle. I get it. Alright, that's really the only thing I needed then from Prosperity Plaza.
I've always loved that skull.
Oh, Jollicure's haberdashery. Why not? We gotta talk to her anyway.
Oh, look at all you with the hips. Over here. Let me take a closer look at you.
Which, we all have hips.
Don't speak. Hold that posture for a moment while I admire you. You have a natural contrapposto, my dear. The way you rest your weight against your hip suggests a certain rugged charisma possessed only by the mighty primal and the well-traveled spacer. Splendid. I love it.
You can tell all that by the way I'm standing.
Your walk, your posture, the cut of your clothes. You carry yourself with the bearing of a noble, but you dress like a barbarian. How deliciously outre. I'm Celeste Jollicoeur, and you, my dear, are exactly what Byzantium needs.
It's like you read my mind.
Darling, you and that brutish swagger of yours have been on my mind the moment you stepped into my studio. I'm working on a new line of clothing that will shock this city to its core, and I'd like your help. What do you say, my dear? Care to make history with me?
What do you have in mind?
When I look at you, I see the very embodiment of everything the walls of Byzantium were built to keep out. Making an outfit worthy of you won't be easy. I'll need your help gathering the right materials.
You've got a pretty high opinion of someone you just met.
Everything I need to know can be deduced from a first impression. You're an outsider. You're exotic. You carry a whiff of barbarism and adventure. You're the embodiment of everything I want in my new line.
Alright, I can help you out, after all this flattery.
Marvelous. You and I are gonna wake this city up like a cold splash of wine to the face. What I need is a survey of the outside world. What does the common laborer wear? How do the wild-eyed madmen of Monarch dress themselves? I've heard rumors, but I require samples. Also, I expect you to model for me.
Any excuse to admire my looks, huh? Can't blame you.
Oh, you cad! You'll be the talk of Byzantium once I'm done with you. I'll need you to model for me the following. The apparel of an iconoclast, the armor of a marauder, and a full ensemble of spacer gear, helmet included. And when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by real spacers. None of that garbage spacer's choice pedals. You have the
Sí.
bearing and demeanor of a born model. You're going to absolutely murder this job.
Ya voy.
Se lo firmo, pues si quiere.
Hold on, I need to know more about these outfits.
I expect you'll cut an exquisite figure. What else do you need to know?
You said something about an iconoclast outfit.
I've heard rumors of these iconoclasts, half-mad zealots rampaging across the surface of Monarch. You'll have to find your own way into Monarch. I can't help you. Even if I could, I prefer not to interfere with your creative process.
What's so interesting about the Marauder armor?
I don't know. I've never seen a marauder. Not in person, anyway. There are always Aetherwave programs, but I want something authentic. Byzantium is long overdue for a change of wardrobe, my dear. Something barbaric, yet elegant.
Where am I supposed to find spacer gear? Controller, please. There we go.
If I were an enterprising spacer in need of a wardrobe, I'd probably head to the Groundbreaker.
I'll see what I can do.
Fabulous! I can't wait to see what you dredge up.
Where am I supposed to find spacer gear?
I...
Groundbreaker. There was something else I wanted to ask. Have you ever been outside Byzantium?
Outside Byzantium? Of course not. There's nothing for me outside Byzantium.
Yet you're sending me all over Halcyon.
Yes, and I'm terribly grateful you've agreed. Look, darling, I don't belong outside Byzantium any more than a fish belongs on the land. Anyway, I'm quite certain Byzantium wouldn't last 3 days without me. I'd return to a smoking ruin of hideous fabrics and mismatched colors.
You said I was exactly what Byzantium needs. What did you mean?
Byzantium has lost its élan vital. Everything about this city is so dreadfully stale. I want to make people uncomfortable the way you do. You're an outsider. You clearly don't belong in Byzantium, and yet you strut about, doing as you please.
Never heard of a tailor who wants to make people uncomfortable.
I'm not some common buttonmonger, darling. I'm an artist. It's my job to make you uncomfortable.
I see, thanks.
You're very welcome.
Let me see what you got. You got anything special? No. No, you do not.
I can't wait to see those outfits.
All in due time, my love.
What can I do for you, darling?
My engineer is going on a date and she needs a fine outfit.
You don't gotta be so forward about my reasons, Captain.
Let me get a good look at you. Turn around, please, darling. My word. Such muscular shoulders. You're a vision, dear.
I am no such thing, ma'am.
Nonsense. You're absolutely lovely. Chin up now. I have just the thing for you. Let me do a back-of-the-envelope calculation. Materials, labor, licensing and copyright. There.
She's an engineer. You think she can afford that? She needs to impress her true love.
Love? That's the ultimate luxury, darling. Love. Oh, gracious me.
I don't get why that's funny, ma'am.
Oh, my cherub. Who woos for love anymore? That's so... precious. All right, Captain. Here is the absolute best I can do for you.
Hold up, did you actually measure her for this outfit? I didn't see any measuring tape.
Darling, do I look like an amateur? I read her measurements by eye. And don't you ask, because they're no one's business but her own.
All right.
There are some things I simply cannot skimp on, darling. Such a lovely young lady deserves the best. Now stand back. Back! I'll enter the settings and get these machines spinning. You'll be broke to bespoke in nearly an hour. And there we are, my darling girl. I wish you a splendiferous evening. And if you don't mind my asking, have you any interest in modeling?
What? Oh, no, ma'am. All them eyes staring at me? I couldn't. No way, no how. I get scared just thinking on it.
I wish you weren't so shy, my Violet. You truly are beautiful. I hope your date sees that as clearly as I.
Oh, can you believe this outfit? It's so handsome, I'm almost afraid to touch it. Well, I guess that's everything then. After all this time, I just have to actually do it now. You know, there's a part Junlei's been looking for to fix up the air cyclers. They only carried them on big colony ships, like the Hope.
Parvati making every little thing perfect won't change Junlei's feelings.
I know. For a while, it felt like everything I did was a little bit of help. And it meant I didn't have to ask her to be mine. Not yet. Not for real. Next time we dock with Groundbreaker, I'm doing it. I'll send June a message and ask her over. Oh, this is real scary, Captain. I'm grateful for all you done.
I love Byzantine.
Parvati really is the best of us. Billingsley's House of Inebriation. Alright. Looks like we had to be here anyway. Corporate recruit. Wealthy citizen.
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams,
Chairman Rockwell.
we are publishing our yearly success report.
Hey, stand back. You. I'm part of Minister Clark's personal detail, and that means you gotta keep 5 feet back. No time.
Are you supposed to drink on the job?
Of course not. But I'm not on the job right now. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all.
What's so important about guarding Minister Clark?
He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me the most important guard in the colony. Yeah.
That's a big job.
That means I got a key to the minister's estate, my own personal UDL-issued shotgun. They don't give those out to just anyone.
Congratulations.
Yep. I've nearly made it to the top, my friend. I'm just 2 promotions away from on-the-job athletics.
Anything you can tell me about Minister Clark?
Oh, height with like medium-colored hair and like a kind of a medium face. Just like in his posters.
How descriptive.
Oh, you definitely recognize him if you saw him. He's very important.
How about I buy you a drink to celebrate your promotion?
That's a great idea. I'll have a Spectrum vodka.
Captain, I can smell him from clear over here. I reckon he's had a fair number already.
Sure have, because today's my big day.
He's got powerful good ears, too.
And a powerful thirst. You have a Spectrum vodka for a new pal?
I will in a second.
UDL security attendant who's always...
Mr. Billingsley, hello.
You tried our new cocktail sponsored by Rizzo's? 1 part purple Spectrum vodka, 1 part artificial tomato-like substitute juice. We call it a Blue Bloody Mary.
I wanted to ask you something.
Oh, by all means.
Mr. Billingsley. What's it like working in Byzantium?
I don't believe in work. Work is for automechanicals and lower classes.
Oh, you prick. You're missing out. There's something satisfying about a hard day's work.
I suppose there is something charming about work in a parochial sort of way. Personally, I can't imagine ruining my sleeves by rolling them up. We all have our roles in society. I like to think of myself as an entrepreneur. This drinking establishment is my investment.
Picked up any interesting rumors?
Maverick Johnston's about to release his new picture. From what I hear, they've already started shooting.
I should go. Actually, I have to buy that vodka.
What can I do for you?
I could use a drink.
Then you'll want to speak with our automechanical inebriation assistant, located just over there.
Aren't you the bartender?
Not so, but I would never lower myself to do something as gauche as tending bar. My automechanical assistant does all the work for me.
I hate you so much.
Please allow me to improve your drinking experience with fine cocktails and pre-approved banter.
Pre-approved banter? How could I resist?
Request confirmed. Banter protocol activated. Welcome, attractive patron, to Billingsley's House of Inebriation. Studies have shown that drinking in the vicinity of extremely valuable objects, such as this automechanical bartender, can enhance the quality of your intoxication.
Spectrum vodka. What do I want to give you? Which color? Spectrum vodka red? Oh yeah, the cheapest Spectrum vodka. Only the cheapest for my new friend. Offer him a Spectrum vodka. Here's to your promotion.
Here's to me. Hey, you are really great. Have I told you that? We should be friends.
Best friends.
Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm face down on the tile somewhere. Who am I kidding? I could have another. You got another?
Let me fetch you another. Anything for my new friend.
Hey, you look... It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow! You got, like, this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? Like a Manosaur. You got a Manosaur energy.
Thank you.
Oh, boss. I gotta stop. I'm seeing at least 2 of you.
Please allow me.
Can I offer you another one?
I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow if I don't stop.
Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders.
Guess I can't argue with that. Yeah. one's supposed to taste like purple berry crunch? Or am I just tasting breakfast? I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick.
I'm gonna have to follow him into the bathroom and rob him. So nobody be alarmed, but I think I just killed somebody through alcohol poisoning.
Remember that stranger I saw in the square? You know, the one.
Who just leaves the mag picks lying around?
Is Mayfield still drinking? Idiot's probably face down on the bar by now.
Out with it, you wretched contraption! Does nothing in this city work?
Byzantine Estates. What is this? Odeon Pictures. Let's be movie stars.
For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left. For all auditions, please use the
Yeah, I can sell the standard troop armor. We don't need that. I also don't need this Spectrum vodka.
elevator on the left.
You both ready to be movie stars?
My cousin's in pictures. That business makes piracy look civil.
If you could just leave me back at the ship, I'm sure there's something ought to be fixing now.
Wait, that's Ruth Bellamy's? Oh no. Halcyon Helen's dressing room.
Great! You made it! Listen, I know you're expecting a script, but you're the real deal. Just go in there and do what feels natural.
Got it.
We gave the other actors real weapons to keep things authentic. And because Josh is paying to see their logo on the big screen.
I can work with that.
I knew you'd get it. Now go in there, find your mark, and show us what you got.
I'm gonna have to kill people during this audition.
Well, well. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too late. All of this settlement CNP Hungry Time food pills, same nutritional value, but now with added filler, are ours. With their patented stomach stuffing effects and baseline vitamin content, we will be nigh unstoppable.
So much product placement. Joke's on you, idiot. Those crates are just decoys.
They are? What an unexpected twist. You may have fooled me for now, but not for long.
Can I shoot someone? Wait, are we the good guys or the bad guys? Doesn't matter. I want to shoot someone.
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axejack, staring one another down across the void of space while flaming debris fell like rain around us.
The things you just described are scientifically impossible.
Hey, I didn't write this. Just go with it. I had you surrounded and outgunned, but you overcame my superior numbers with tactical thinking and a Hammersmith limited edition grenade launcher. I've been waiting for 5 years now, and at last my day for vengeance has come.
You ran like a coward then. You'll run now if you know what's good for you. Exude wordless fury.
Yes, even you are powerless this time, Steel. I have this whole port wired with sub-micro energon transistors.
Once we're away, I'll activate the gamma particulate field, and the quantaponic chain reaction will turn this whole place into vaporized plasma.
Most of those words are made up, and the ones that are real don't work like that.
Plasma's already a vapor-like kind of thing. You can't re-vaporize it. Can you?
Quiet. You're supposed to be an extra. I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your personal death and dismemberment waivers, because this is the end for you.
Let's see you try.
Line. Never mind, I think that's scene. To the break room, everyone. I need my Moab fizzy tea.
Cut! That was interesting, kid. Real novel take. Let's take 5.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. Hey, listen, I appreciate what you tried there. We've got to review your footage before we make a final decision, though.
Okay, so a little bit safe, Scummy, but I know what I have to do.
Well. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too late. All of the...
Joke's on you, idiot. Those crates are just decoys.
Do you remember...
Remain stoically silent.
I see you haven't changed a bit, Steele. I had you surrounded and outgunned, but you overcame my superior numbers. I've been...
Exude wordless fury.
Yep, what?
Say nothing but make your eye twitch a little.
Speechless, I see. It is a flawless plan.
Stop! It's make-believe!
She's really shooting! Safety's off!
Here they come! Nice one!
Someone calling the janitor auto mech. And you, Captain Baby, you were great. Let's take 5.
I know it's a bit gauche, but the only way for me to become a movie star was to murder 5 people in cold blood.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me.
That's just showbiz, baby.
I knew you had chops, but that was something else. You found the energy in the scene and ran with it. That was visceral.
You like that?
Liked it. I fucking loved it. The lawyers are another story. But you let me worry about them. You just hang on to that energy. It'll take a few months to get your contract set up, but it'll be worth it.
Oop, I think it
Here's
just
your
heck up.
fee for
Okay, we're
today,
fine.
But there's more to come.
I'm a star now. The board reputation increased. Jeepers creepers. I don't answer to anyone now. I'm a movie star. Oh, I should really keep the plasma rifle too. Nah. Lightweight spacers gear. Yeah, actually, yeah. I can just keep this. and uses one of my modeling outfits. Alright, and we're right next to Byzantine Estate, so let's go see Ellie's parents.
Rizzo's knock you out bar. A seat.
Sure, they look fancy, but inside, just marble and existential emptiness.
Acropolis District. What the hell?
The Acropolis District is off limits. Move along.
Mind if I take a breather? I'm pretty tired after hauling around all these bits.
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the law's name are you on about?
These 20... Yeah, whatever. I've been weighing me down all day. Here, you hold them.
Sure. Let me just take that off your hands. Did I say restricted area? Slip of the tongue. What I meant was, welcome to the Acropolis District.
HHC building. Office clerk. Who the hell are you? Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Oh, jeepers. Alright, well, whatever it is. I have access to it now. What more could I ask for? Dr. Chartrand's home. Oh, we're gonna commit a murder.
You think the privy's gold-plated too?
Probably. Logs. Cascadia compromised. Continue. I unsealed the lab entrance. I mean, it's only apt that I wreck her with the plasma launcher for science.
This basement. If someone back home wanted to make a secret lab, they'd have to put it in a closet.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside?
How did you get inside? I'm the one asking the questions.
You're in my house, and I'm not fucking around. Start talking.
You're not fucking around, sister. I'm not fucking around. Lilia Hagen sent me to kill you.
If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do it with the same professional courtesy.
Thank you, Ellie.
Hagen. I've never heard of her. Is she from the board? Damn it. I knew this would happen.
Why would the board want you dead? Lilia, yeah, why not? I'm gonna kill her anyway. Lilia runs Sublight Salvage on Groundbreaker. Good boss, bit of a live wire.
That's a gentle, womanly way of putting it, Captain. She's obsessed with aliens.
This is utter nonsense. I've never even been to Groundbreaker.
You've been to Cascadia and Station 1084. I know all of your dirty little secrets.
What happened to the team? Tell me you didn't move their suspension tanks.
Sublight took over the lab. Your human aquariums are probably just office decor.
Small consolation. My team, the finest minds of their generation, reduced to salvage.
What were they trying to prove by experimenting on themselves?
We were trying to prove that the colony could survive the crisis bearing down on us.
Crisis? What crisis?
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving.
This is startling, but it doesn't explain the research I found. Wait, you're telling me this was all about vegetables. Do you always have corporate guards in your home?
It seems I have you to thank for my current house guests.
This is startling, but it doesn't explain the research I found.
The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have.
Adaptation didn't save your research team.
Not for lack of trying. I wanted to save them all, but I wasn't strong enough.
You burned through a lot of valuable scientists to arrive at zero solutions.
I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back.
Isn't Cornelius Vanderbilt one of the assault cruisers patrolling Halcyon?
It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace.
If the board's authority... Lilia sent me after a conspiracy, but it looks like I found a cover-up instead.
I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible consequences for breaking secrecy.
The board wants to adapt the entire population of Halcyon?
Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off Halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
Parvati, my love.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying.
It's a hell of a story. Lilia Hagen still wants me to kill you.
If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
What do you think, Ellie?
I try not to, at least when it comes to the moral dilemmas. Lilia Hagen's a useful ally to have, but I'll back you up either way.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that.
Parvati?
Seems like she's trying to help, Captain. Honest help. Ain't many in the colony doing that.
This is a tough situation.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands.
I mean, the problem is if I spare her, I lose my, influence and everything with Lilia and Sublight, and they are specifically very good allies to have moving forward. And I know you're worried about the future of Halcyon, but I'm working with Phineas Wells to unfreeze all the more qualified scientists and engineers on the Hope, so...
Here they come! Everyone all right?
board reputation decreased. Let's see, the Groundbreaker loves me, so do the Iconoclast, so does Monarch Stellar Industries, so does Sublight. The board is mixed. I don't care about him though. Fuck him. Anti-Cleos also loves me. CMP Borst is neutral. Corporate Commander. This is not one of my prouder moments, but I do have to think of my future. Who is this? Dr. Lorelei. Now, there were some options there that you can also take if you don't want to side with Lilia. You can offer to let her work in peace for either the board or Phineas Wells. The thing is, though, is if... I mean, at least for this ending, we're dismantling the board so they become irrelevant. Just for those of you aware, even if you send her to work with Wells or make that deal... Like, he never mentions her, and she doesn't come up in the endings at all. So, just saying. She's not really worth kind of the sacrifice you make. I guess they're just not aware that I murdered everyone in there.
There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial grade cleaning solvent in desperation.
To the Fennehl estate. Can I snoop around your house, Ellie?
Marilyn, is that you?
Loss! We certainly didn't expect to see you like this. And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
I don't know what to say. She's usually not like this. Come on, you're supposed to help me make an impression. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
Lionel with a spoon.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right?
Theft, vandalism, profanity, you name it. We've done it at least twice.
Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
Don't treat her like that. She's come a long way to see you.
I mean, we had other business in Byzantium, so it's not like we went out of our way. But you can't just kick us out. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors.
Hold up, these floors aren't just nice, they're top quality marble.
She's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead. I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
Why do I get the feeling you people are about to apologize for something?
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
Why did you do that?
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we?
I'll have you know Ellie's a professional miscreant.
Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks. Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind. I'm afraid it would cause quite a stir if the neighbors saw you two stomping about. That's it? You just want us to disappear now? Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time. Let's talk outside.
That was rough.
We gotta talk. Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage.
How did you think that would go?
I thought they'd be scandalized. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed.
And then what?
I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either the leather's fake but the scars are real, or oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug?
How about it's payback time and I'm collecting with interest?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that one day. Now, getting back to my story. Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me, to come back and make a big scene. Then, Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red, and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob.
Chin up, you're better than this.
I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain.
That sounds familiar.
I hope you don't think I'm talking about this because I want to be introspective.
This episode reflects on them, not you.
But I want to talk about me now.
You gotta surround yourself with people who will really look out for you.
Unless you mean the kind who'll look out for you to blink so they could swipe your bits. The galaxy's not exactly crawling with those. Anyway, I don't want to sift through this lousy experience for meaningful life lessons. I'm mad, and I want to do something about it. Something like... Wait a second. What if I could get that money?
Keep talking.
I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off.
Quite the role reversal.
As long as I don't develop a taste for Wolgonzola and bad legal dramas, that's fine by me.
The old switcheroo.
My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantine. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves. Something on your mind?
I need to ask you a few things. Let's talk about the Gorgon job.
If there's one thing you could say about Lucky Montoya, he was always at the center of a story. Guess this is fitting.
You knew Lucky Montoya?
Sure. Like Ada said, he was a big name among freelancers. I met him at Lost Hope once. He was buying rounds for everyone and telling a story about one of his jobs. Pretty sure half of it was made up.
Why do you say that?
You ever get the feeling someone's just trying too hard?
All the time. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna ignore that bit of subtext, Captain. There was just something about Montoya I couldn't quite trust. He was always the center of a room, and he slapped a lot of backs to stay there.
You think he was all talk?
Yeah. I'm trying to say that if he screwed this job up, that's on him. I still like our odds. He may have had a rep, but you're more capable than he ever was.
Shucks, Allie. Wow, Allie, that's nice of you to say.
Hey, don't get used to it. What's on your mind?
Any idea what happened to Lucky?
From his arm? The decay makes it hard to tell. Could be a lot of things. Torn off by something with big teeth, torn off by something with big claws, torn off by someone with a moderately sharp blade. Or maybe he just got too close to heavy machinery.
Enough about Gorgon.
Sure. Something on your mind?
Let's go. We got an insurance office to find and fraud to commit.
You must. Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of her?
For the last time, access to Byzantium is impossible without a proper nav key. Now, if you look...
Do you want to fight, lady?
How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them.
You're the greasy
you are,
vagrant.
frolicking.
Excuse me, I am strutting, not frolicking. Frolicking? Guys, do I frolic?
I don't reckon so. Maybe she's talking about me? I mean, I'm definitely the greasy one.
Well, whatever you call it, do it elsewhere, and take your merry band with you. Honestly, what is the board thinking, letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness.
If the board isn't supposed to let people into the city, how would you get here?
I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see.
What's a CIO?
Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their products. You know the font they use for Stogie Slims? That was him. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a very long list.
What other ideas did he come up with?
Let's see. He picked the colors they included in rainbow chips. No one else wanted purple, but he insisted. Everyone loves the purple ones. And you know how the Cosmic Smokes logo has an eye in the middle of a heptagon? He said that one came to him in a dream. He was a true visionary, so far ahead of his time.
But what did you do?
I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him.
Inheriting bits isn't the same as earning them.
Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful. And if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept.
Holy shit. I hate you so much right now. I see, thanks.
You're welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee?
Repartee, thank you. What's wrong with more people coming to Byzantium?
What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our society. Merit, decorum, personal hygiene. This city is meant for us, the system's finest. We earned its luxuries. But now we are overrun with the unworthy and the ungrateful, and this early retirement nonsense is making it even worse.
What's early retirement?
The worst thing to happen to Halcyon. A contest that gives even the lowliest to most inefficient workers a chance to live in Byzantium. By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of Byzantium to themselves. No one else is even allowed to go there. Tell me, how is that fair?
Well, most contests have some inherent biases, so technically.
Oh, by the law. I mean the principle of it, not the mechanics. It's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it weren't guarded, I'd... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to investigate this travesty, and you get paid to do so?
She's got a point. We're probably gonna get shot at anyway. Might as well make a few bits.
Yes. Listen to your... What is that person's job exactly? Are they your secretary? Personal masseuse? Or do you just keep them around as a mobile armrest? Well, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you think this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled to lend me your services. Aren't you?
Thrilled is a strong word, but sure.
Fantastic. Consider yourself employed, vagrant. I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad, but it's completely locked down. You'd never get in that way. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree, which you do. How fortunate for you. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs.
How did you get those access
The same
codes?
way anyone gets anything here, of course. I made friends with the right people. Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but that means everyone here has little need for more of them. For favors like this, you need to spend... let's call it social capital.
Is this where Minister Clark is?
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics.
I'm here for Minister
That's
Clark.
funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS.
Was the minister expected
Minister
delivery?
Clark's a private man, and you're asking too many questions.
Farewell. Sucker, I'm gonna go get a package. Let's do this insurance mission first, though. This is the back door from Billingsley's. Is it, what is this? This Lower Byzantium? Forsyth, Chanceries. Wow, why is most of the shit here closed? Greater Halcyon Insurance. I guess we are going to Fallbrook. Alright, hack. And we should put the rest of these into... Yo, fuck if I know. I guess Persuade. sucks. I don't like being at low health, so I would prefer not to like deal greater damage there. I'm usually shredding people with big guns, so headshots are not that. I really don't need that. I don't need guaranteed criticals. I have ammo and damage. I don't need the armor thing. I don't need to take reduced plasma. I don't fight that many plasma people. I don't do melee damage. I don't even use time dilation that often. And I don't use improvised weapons. Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't have gone the science weapon route, because it turns out I'm not really using them. Weird science. Yeah, why not? It fits my character build. Yeah, I guess I could do pack of mules. Because otherwise there's not much I want to do here. Alright, so we need to go to Fallbrook for that, that's fine. Talk to Parvati on the ship. Return to Lilia Hagen. Actually, fuck it, we're here. Let's do the Byzantium bullshit. Olympus River. Maintenance tunnels.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here.
Giles.
Oh, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Nothing. Why? Does it look like I'm up to something?
Yes, you are quite shifty.
Laws, I knew it. You got me. I'm caught, aren't I?
Yeah, you're in big trouble. Why don't you tell me what you did?
I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? Maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little legs. And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? Everyone gets a little distracted now and then.
Calm down and tell me what happened.
They escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats and exterminator mechanicals.
I could look for your sprats.
In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common sewer sprats. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, do take care, and do mind the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings, well, I still want their bodies. For science, of course.
Of course, for science. What are the maintenance tunnels between beneath Byzantium for?
Well, to maintain things, of course. Like big, humming machine things with gears. And pipes. Water pipes. Air pipes. All sorts of pipes. That's why they connect the city from the Acropolis district to here.
But why wouldn't you go into the tunnels yourself?
Everyone knows sewer sprats carry diseases. And the exterminator mechanicals have been known to fire on larger targets. Why they'd do that when they're only supposed to attack sprats, I've no idea. But there are rumors.
Rumors like what?
Some people say there are strange things in those tunnels. Assassins. A room full of murderous automechanicals. Monsters hungry for human flesh. A hidden bureaucratic purgatory where things and people are lost forever. Not that I place any stock in silly rumors, of course.
Of course not. Why are there exterminator mechanicals in the tunnels?
To deal with the sewer sprats, of course. They're quite the nuisance.
I'm wondering why you're so attached to these sprats.
They're for my, research.
Oh, out with it already.
Oh, very well. It's true. I do run studies on them at the lab, but I also have a special connection with them. See, I'm an enormous fan of all my colonists. The early seasons, before the plotlines got tacky. You must have seen the classic episodes.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I forget. Some parts of Halcyon are lacking in modern plumbing. Not to mention the latest in entertainment. Well, I name all my sprats after my favorite characters. That way, their stories can live on in rodent form. So you see, it's imperative that I get them all back.
Should have just run fanfiction. So your sprats, what are their names?
Not just names. They all have backstories, too. There's Lord Reginald Kim III, Lady Philippa Farnsworth, Vonda von Vermington, Haroon Greenlee, Iskander Emmanuel Sanchez, and Evelyn Ensley Okoye.
Who are Lord Reginald and Lady Philippa?
Ah, she's the chief executive of Farnsworth Incorporated, and a fearless captain of industry. He's a mercurial shareholder. They're in a rather tumultuous marriage contract.
What's Vonda's story? Oh gosh.
She's an ambitious shareholder in Farnsworth Incorporated who wants more than stock. Or does she? It's difficult to tell what exactly she's after, but she is trying to seduce both Lord Reginald and Lady Philippa.
I'm curious about Haroon Greenlee and Iskander Emmanuel Sanchez.
So is everyone. Haroon is a mysterious young man with amnesia. His backstory's still a work in progress. Iskander is Lady Philippa's trusty assistant. He's trying to seduce Vonda.
Who's Evelyn Ensley Okoye?
She's a member of Farnsworth Incorporated's regulatory board. A wise woman with a sharp tongue and a heart of gold. Something else?
Oof. That was an adventure. You seem surprised I'd help you.
I still am. After all, I'm a person of very little influence and only middling prospects. No one does favors for free. But I must say, I'm far too distressed to think critically about your suspiciously kind offer.
Transition to Halcyon Parcel Service. Yeah, you keep patrolling. Get the fuck out of here.
Nicely done. Great work.
Pick it up. Olivia Yates. Wanda Chen. I can pretend to be a I can pretend to be an employer.
Move along.
Oh wow. Okay, never mind. I can't. Wanda Chen.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
Olivia.
Well, you're getting an early start on the day's parcels, aren't you? Welcome to Halcyon Parcel Service. Deliveries guaranteed within standard margins of accuracy.
Love her voice. What do you do here?
Halcyon Parcel Service is the most dependable parcel delivery service in the colony. You might even say we're part and parcel of Halcyon's commercial enterprise. That's just a little parcel joke.
So if someone needed a package delivered, they'd come here.
Nope, just parcels. We don't deal in packages.
What's the difference?
It's very technical. Halcyon Parcel Service strictly adheres to the standards and definitions of packaging as outlined by the Executive Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. We can ship all the parcels you want. But if I start shipping packages, I could get into some real trouble. Handcuffs and hard labor trouble.
All right, farewell. Cupid of the laboratory. To the maintenance tunnels. Alright, we gotta save the sprats. I feel like I should give her the exterminator. Alright, let's save. I want to make sure I don't catch any sprats in a plasma launcher attack. Because then I would have a vaporized sprat, and that would be a bad time.
Security threat.
Now we'll clean this up, right?
Got him. Alright, well I don't think any of them have died, so we are doing well so far. Alright, I have like 3 mag locks. I think I can stop buying them whenever I stop somewhere.
That was quick.
They really have their hands full down here. Oh, I'm so glad that Sprat decided to hide. Ionized paper knife. Fuck these ones up.
Thought nothing fun ever happened in this town.
Guess you just didn't hang out enough in the sewers. Apparently sewers is where the party was at.
Real slick.
Done.
Transition to Byzantium. I wonder where this posits us. Acropolis District, HHC building. Of your rats.
Any luck finding my sprats?
All safe and accounted for.
Truly? Why, this is marvelous! And all safe and sound. Oh, Reginald, Philippa, Vonda, Haroon, Iskander, Evelyn, I'm never letting you out of my sight again. Please, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I can offer for the safe return of my darlings. Now, I've got to get back to the lab before my supervisor logs my absence.
Alright, and now the city and the stars.
I've always loved that.
Alright, we're gonna have to pretend to have a package for Chairman Rockwell. Not Chairman Rockwell, Minister Clark, excuse me. Hey,
There's
Corporate
nothing
Citadel.
to see here. Move along.
You move along.
Chasing us off already? This feels familiar.
Ma'am, please don't cause a scene.
I want you to know I'm holding back for your sake.
I appreciate
Do you
that.
have any actual business here, or?
Delivery for the minister.
Yeah. Let's see it.
I've got this parcel right here.
Looks like your papers are in order. All right, go on through.
Thank you for your time.
You got nimble fingers, Captain.
Me, nimble fingers, perish the thought, my love. Who are you? You're just a corporate guard. You're not people. There's more corporate guards here than actual staff.
How did you get in here?
How did you get in here?
You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
Oh, my law. Captain, Captain, that's the minister! Mr. Clark! Oh, wow!
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another aether wave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more.
Wow. What are you talking about?
Slowly and loudly, Aloysius, that's the only way these morons understand anything. I said you may tell Charles to go fuck himself.
I don't know a Charles, but I guess. Calm down, I'm just here to ask you some questions.
Then you're not part of Rockwell's PR team.
No, you dingleberry.
That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident? But what are you doing here? And how did you get in?
I'm here for the dimethyl sulfoxide.
Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up? Back to idiot speak. I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
He's got no idea what we're asking about.
Will that be all, then?
I'm gonna punch you. I have records proving you've been hoarding dimethyl sulf... I can't even say that, the drugs.
Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Unless... Of course! It's Rockwell again, who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way.
Back up and tell me what you're talking about.
Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of transacting business in my name. But this proves it.
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment.
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it.
Why would he go through all this trouble?
How should I know? I've been under house arrest for years. But there is a way to find out, and perhaps to set things right. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the Hhc Headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm coming, but everything's quiet and still.
Believe me, things have been off around here for a very, very long time. A reckoning is most certainly due.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter.
The Hhc quarters?
Halcyon Holdings Corporation, the collective of companies that run the colony together. Allegedly in partnership with the Earth Directorate and appointed Minister of Earth.
Let's focus. How do I get to the Hhc headquarters?
Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons.
Once I get to the Acropolis District, what then?
When you reach the Hhc building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are.
What used to be your office?
Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shudder to think what Rockwell's done with the place. A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater. A man has too much money and too little sense.
How did you manage to hang onto your access card?
The board's lackeys are none too bright. I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look.
Do I want to know?
I merely hid it in a book. No one reads anything longer than a few pages around here. There are a few advantages to dealing with imbeciles.
Alright, we can cut back on the ableist language. Well, thanks for your help.
Wait. Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here.
What's on the cartridge?
What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more. all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
You're awful trusting for a guy who's been locked in his own house for years.
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Even Rockwell's resources are no match. And it is hardly in their interest to let Halcyon crash.
Good plan.
Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis district. What a pleasure. I haven't had this much company in quite some time. I really hope I'm not imagining this.
What exactly do you do here?
Why, I do all the work no one else wants to do. I write reports no one ever reads. Monitor colony statistics that no one pays attention to. When I'm not being conscripted to perform in the chairman's propaganda, of course.
Look on the bright side, Mr. Clark. When folks come looking for those reports one day, imagine how excited they'll be to find your work. Could do a whole heap of good.
She's so wholesome.
I only hope someone comes looking before it's too late. It sometimes feels as though I'm writing these reports purely for my own amusement.
Gotta find other ways to amuse yourself, friend, and that's not a euphemism. Take heart, you're doing what you can.
That's what I tell myself, but it can be rather dispiriting. Halcyon is headed for a collapse, and no one seems inclined to do anything about it.
You say these things like you're surprised. And then I gotta remind myself that you've been locked away for years.
If Halcyon falls apart, it will take all of us with it, laborer and executive alike. What astounds me is that no one is inclined to change our course.
Let me get this straight. The chairman is keeping you under house arrest?
Haven't you heard? Chairman Rockwell and I are on a goodwill tour of the colony as we speak.
Why would Rockwell do this to you?
Probably because I've no interest in being his puppet. My predecessor was content to serve as Rockwell's lapdog. When he saw I meant to oppose him, he made sure I'd have little opportunity to.
Does this mean all the news about you and Rockwell working together is fake?
Except for the bit about my suddenly coming down with stomach flu last year. That truly happened.
Seriously, what's stopping you from leaving?
Aside from battalions of UDL security forces, most of Halcyon knows my name and face, so I could hardly evade Rockwell for long. Besides, remaining close has allowed me to learn just how wrong things have gone around here.
It's too bad you're stuck here.
It's quite all right. I've got every back issue of Dissident Hunter to keep me company.
What's your thing with Dissidents and Dissident Hunter anyway?
Are you telling me you haven't read one? They're fabulously entertaining. Also, they're a surprisingly useful means of ascertaining what's going on in the broader colony. The board's most pressing grievances tend to feature heavily as the problem of the week. Sometimes it's factory strikes, other times it's dissenters.
Give Miss Parcel. I brought you something from
How
HPS.
delightful. What is it?
Open it and see for yourself.
The latest issue of Dissident Hunter.
I knew it. God damn it.
I've been waiting for this. Most of what passes for entertainment here is appalling.
I'll leave you be, Minister Clark. This was... I wish I could say it's been illuminating. It's been very odd. States Districts, Odeon Pictures, Maintenance Tunnels, Prosperity Plaza. Yeah, let's investigate the retirement district while we'll stay here, because we're gonna want to do all of our other errands before we go for the HHC offices, because I think that's gonna put us on a fast track. Unsealed door.
Welcome.
Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood collection. Some assembly required. 24/7 Furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage, or divorce litigations that occur during the assembly process. After you get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home. Why not go for a bite at one of our many restaurants, like CNP's Blazing Borscht Barbecue or Rizzo's All-You-Can-Crunch Cereal Buffet? Or maybe you'd like to head to the bar and enjoy an ice-cold Zero-G brew by Spacer's Choice. Zero-G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you, although in the early retirement district, nothing will. All this and more will be complimentary for the entirety of your stay, courtesy of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. You won't have to spend a bit. So relax, grab a refreshment from one of our vending machines, and enjoy our specially constructed welcome center. While you're here, be sure to check out the displays for some fun facts about the early retirement program and selection process. Then, once you're ready, enter the elevator at the end of the hall and leave your troubles behind. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Today is the first day of your early retirement. Congratulations. Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky
Oh, they just keep repeating that.
have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse. Furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood collection. Some assembly.
I consent. Leave
After you
conversation.
get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home. Why not go for a bite at one of our many restaurants, like CNP's Blazing Borscht Barbecue or Rizzo's All-You-Can-Crunch Cereal Buffet?
This is gonna get ugly.
Does that elevator go back up?
Oh, it's just a big, murder chamber. Holy shit, this is grim. I'm sorry, retirement. I'm sorry, janitor drone. No witnesses.
Here they come! What a waste. This would be a great arena match, but the board's gotta make it a death trap.
I could put these parts to much better use.
I hope you're talking about the robot parts and the people parts. Shot Cannon Ultra. Well, glad to see some people put a dent into their executioners. Oof, this was rough. And me scrapping these doesn't really help anything. They'll just put more on mechanicals down here. Disable automechs, unseal hatch. Oh, okay, I'm... Revamp power helmet? Nope. Parvati? I mean, I don't quite have to escape. I feel like I should stay here and clear these robots out.
Okay, here we go. Down they go. That's the last of them.
Board reputation decreased. I mean, listen, that's fair. I was at no point here looking to be chummy with the board, so... I can live very, very well with them not liking me.
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't... I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement. If this goes well, perhaps I'll start hiring wandering delinquents to handle all of my affairs.
Hey, if you've got bits, I'm here.
It is going well, I hope.
So it turns out early retirement isn't so much a life of luxury as it is a brutal execution.
What? You mean it's just a sham they perpetuate so they can dispose of the rabble? That's brilliant. To take the most burdensome members of our society and simply remove them. Oh, I'll never doubt the wisdom of the board again.
You're a terrible person.
Why, I had no reason to be envious at all. What a relief.
I really should have expected this reaction. I was pretty relieved myself. I love killing me some odd mechanicals.
You would, wouldn't you, you precious little pauper? Now then, to the matter of your fee.
Just pay what we settled on and we'll be copacetic.
Of course, as we agreed. I'm not one to break a contract. In any event, while I'm deeply grateful for the peace of mind you've brought me, I will need some solitude to fully bask in it. So if there's nothing further...
That was a deeply uncomfortable interaction for me. The board reputation decreased. Oh well, whatever will I do? I mean, I'll tell you what the hell I'll do. I need to find the vending machine. Here we go. Stealth kit. That is useless to me.
I think we can both agree that Maverick Johnson is the finest.
Yeah, I mean, there's like nothing here for me in the Halcyon parcel services. Okay. Alright. The Low Crusade. Let's go to Fallbrook.
I definitely won that round.
You always seem to, huh?
That's because I'm usually right.
Next time I work the scorecard.
Something on your mind?
You. I mean, what? Nothing.
Hey, Cap.
A part of this So, about the Gorgon job.
Sure.
How are you feeling about the job?
Right now, I'm feeling like a canid following a trail of treats. Like I'm being misled at best. At worst, walking into a trap. Keep those eyes open, Captain. Hey, Cap.
Alright, that's all I had for you. Parvati?
I swear, next time we put into Groundbreaker, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask her over. Oh, I'm so nervous. Having trouble focusing on my work.
What are your thoughts on Gorgon?
It's a shame about what happened to that lucky fella. Maybe finishing what he started will help put his spirit to rest.
You've poked around you've poked around the Unreliable. Ever find any record of Lucky Montoya?
Not a word. And I've been sticking my nose in every one of our stately ladies' crannies, stem to stern.
Euphemism.
Oh, law. That sounds untoward, don't it? That ain't what I meant. Point is, Captain, Mr. Hawthorne left all kinds of scribblings behind panels and under consoles, but ain't a lick of it mentioned Mr. Lucky. So whatever they got up to in the past must have been really extra secret. And lots of fun.
Let me know if you find anything.
Sure thing, Captain.
How are you feeling about this job right now?
It sure is lonely out here on the edge of the colony. Anything could happen. And ain't no one gonna come to help us.
That's all about Gorgon.
Alrighty. You change your mind, you just holler. You know, whoever wired this ship up had no idea what they were doing.
Nyoka. Take the power helmet. Let me talk to the rest of these rascals.
I've adjusted
Felix.
the spice containers to optimize the flow.
Good to see you, boss.
Got a minute? I want to talk to you about this business on Gorgon.
So we just sat around a table talking about a severed arm. Of all the weird things that happened on this ship, that ranks somewhere in the middle.
What do you think about this Lucky Montoya guy?
You ever watch The Masked Marketeer?
Can't say I have.
Episode 5 of The Masked Marketeer. First appearance of a recurring villain. Big ol' galoot. built like one of those industrial-class garbage compressors. His name? Tiny. Every adventure serial's gotta have a supporting character with an ironical name. It's a rule of the Genry. Mass Marketeer had a massive bruiser named Tiny, and we got ourselves a real unfortunate hullhead named Lucky. Coincidence? I think not.
The way you mispronounce words bother me. You seem pretty excited about this job.
We're freelancers. We take any job we can get. But this one? The dying message of a stranger. A severed hand delivered in a crate. Let's just say it beats flying around the colony running errands. So, of course, I'm gonna be excited.
Gotta hand it to you, Felix. You got a heart.
Hey, I get it. Gotta hand it to me. Severed hand. That's what you were going for, right?
Yep.
That wasn't what you were going for. Yep, I can tell by the way you're glaring at me.
Let's talk about something else.
Boss?
You got anything, Sam?
Every Sam unit comes lean, mean, and ready to clean.
Bless you, robot. Vicar, who never leaves his office.
Yes, you caught me. What's
Max, what's your take on this whole Gorgon business?
Perhaps it's just my judicious nature, but I think we should be careful if we're following up on this lucky fellow's message.
Why do you say that?
I've always felt caution as the best approach when one has delivered a message attached to a severed limb.
How often has that happened to you, to have like a rule about it? Noted, but what do you think of what he was saying?
He sounded lost, perhaps slightly untethered from reality. A feeling I know all too well. It doesn't strike me as a setup, but I still advise caution.
Fair enough. So you think we should look into it?
Why not? It is what we do, isn't it? I find myself
Alright, that's it for now. Let me check my captain's quarters. So here, let's check. We have the Edgewater sign. Edgewater sign. We have an iconoclast flag. We have lanterns from MSI. We have the spark card from Frey. We have that for dealing with Clive. We have the Mantisaur. I assume this is from completing the Oka's mission.
Captain Hawthorne used to be more dashing.
Ouch. Alright, so what does she want from me? We have a Spacer's outfit. She wants a Marauder's outfit. And what the hell else does she want? She wanted Spacer, Marauder, Iconoclast.
Nice work. Dispatching Chartrand, Captain. Sublight will be pleased.
Fallbrook landing pad.
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
Slices, dices, cauterizes. The plasma cutter. Alright, we'll take care of this. Can I get in here now? Is this like my house here? Oh yeah, I forgot that I like bought a house here.
This looks like the place. You ready to get my money or what?
I see you're still in one piece. However, you never know when that could change. Consider our accidentally torn into tiny fragments coverage. Note that all of your fragments must be recovered and must be smaller than a standard bit cartridge for the payouts to kick in.
I need to change the beneficiary on Marilyn Fennell's life insurance policy.
I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one.
Let's stay on topic. I just want to change her beneficiary. Oh, what else can you tell me?
Are you serious?
Well, we interviewed the parents extensively. They had plenty of awkward childhood stories that illustrated their daughter's clumsiness and capriciousness.
Hey, those are entirely made up.
Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's become a very lucrative market.
So how would I amend that claim?
You can't, of course. Only Miss Fennehl can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork.
Okay, but how would I change it?
Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd theoretically add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud.
And fraud is bad. You'll do this or you'll be filing your own claim. No, I don't want to threaten the nice lady. Alright, forget it.
That's for the best.
Yeah, let's forget that hypothetical entirely. That's all for now. Don't mind me. Policy details. Marilyn Fennehl. Change beneficiary to Ellie Fennehl. Continue.
We gotta talk.
Talk, my dear Ellie, I can't imagine what we would need to talk about. Get your ass over here. Where's Parvati?
You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it.
Congratulations, Ellie.
Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs.
What are you gonna do with all those bits?
Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future?
Why not?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here?
That's the kind of thinking that's running this place into the crapper.
Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already there. Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee.
I appreciate it, but I didn't do this for the money. We're buds.
Don't make it weird. Even you've got to be in it for the money now and then. Why else would you go through all this trouble?
You're my friend, Ellie. This is what friends do, you dingleberry.
You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you.
We're better off when we're part of a team. We can't make it out here alone. I mean, I could, but... yeah, friendship. Power of friendship. Anime 101, baby.
You don't have to get all mushy about it.
Don't tell me what to do.
Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests.
Wouldn't want to be indebted to me, huh?
It's nothing personal. It's just the closest thing I've got to a code. Anyway, enough of the touchy-feelies, huh? Something on your mind?
Let's go home. Alright. Chimera's last experiment. Alright, let's do the last sublight mission. And Parvati's date. To the Groundbreaker. I wonder when I'm gonna get to go to Typhon, Hephaestus, and Olympus.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
War of Words fizzles. Monarch Stellar Industries. Space Earth Choice.
Chicken and potatoes.
I hope this was worth it, Lilia, because Ava Chandler wasn't actually that bad. Things I do for your paranoid ass.
Is it done?
It's done.
Well, well. Looks like someone's due for a promotion. How does Vice President of Aggressive Acquisitions sound to you, contractor?
Fits me like a glove.
You've certainly earned it, my blood-soaked rising star. Catherine heard I was taking you on full-time and sent along a present of her own. I've had it delivered to your ship. From now on, the board will think twice before fucking with Lilia Hagen, savior of humanity.
You're precious. Been a pleasure working with you, Miss Lilia.
Be sure to mention that in your travels. We could use the free advertising.
Hey, we don't work for exposure.
I'm not sure we should go telling folks we had anything to do with this.
Well, if there's nothing else, I need to review some applications, seeing as I just lost my best contractor.
Know anything about the assault cruiser Cornelius Vanderbilt?
Not as much as I'd like. The board dispatched it to Earth on a resupply mission, I think. Why?
It's missing. Dr. Chartrand sent a research query via the cruiser and never heard back.
Interesting. It's possible the board wanted the cruiser to disregard ancillary tasks. To what end? I'll have someone look into it. But for the moment, we're pissing in the wind and shooting in the dark. Considering how you get around, you'll probably find answers before I do.
That's true. Back to work, then. Sublight VP Armor. Nice. For the I'm the Vice President of Aggressive Acquisitions. Now look at me. I'm going places, kids. Alright, don't bite the sun. We'll talk to Parvati on the ship. And we'll probably call it there. Actually, we'll do Parvati and then we'll at least do Celeste's. Just so I don't have to carry these outfits around in my inventory. Alright, let's talk, Parvati.
All right. She's on her way. How do I look?
You're wearing armor, dear. You look terrific.
Oh, my hands have finally stopped shaking. All right, all right. Deep breath. Here I go.
Checking on the date. Alright, hack, lockpick. Made it to 100. Medical science engineering. I'm only gonna get 20 more points. Engineering at least gets to be at 100 when I'm with Parvati and Ellie. Let me get my persuade to 100 and then we'll hit some other ones. Let me stow these away, and let me stow my VP armor, because I'm not gonna need that.
Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I ain't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome.
What did he say to that?
Have at it then. And he handed me his favorite wrench, the one he used for the canner. He's probably half as tall as I was.
He didn't scold you for talking back to him?
Nah, he was never like that. I always thought it was funny when I get indignant about something. Then he'd watch me do whatever it was, make sure I didn't get hurt, but he'd never interfere. I learned a lot that way.
I wish I could have met him. Anyone who helped shape you must have been a special person.
Ah, they're so cute together. What am I doing? You should leave the ship and let them enjoy their date. Alright, I guess I'll just leave and then come right back in. Wait, can I navigate somewhere else?
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Alright, we'll leave Parvati to her date. Oh, I just brought Ellie. Okay. Whoops. How was the date?
Okay, Captain, she's gone.
I want all the details.
I feel like running laps around the cargo bay. So she got here, and, well, she sneezed. She said, wow, new soap? And I was like, yeah, rose-ish. Turns out it tickled her nose. Oops. And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like and called the cut of my outfit elegant. I couldn't hear the rest on account of my heart was beating so hard. Then I led her into the kitchen. I think she about cried when she saw the spread.
So you laid out the meal, brought June in, and started the music?
She stood stock still and just said, oh, real soft. Oh, and let me tell you, I was sweating. And then she blinked and said, is that dustback casserole? I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarch person.
So the meal went well, the dessert too?
Well, we talked a bunch over dinner about the things we learned just through messages, stuff we repaired, how I taught her to salvage, and she taught me to build. When I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little teary, said she had a thing she needed to say. but I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I never felt so bold, Captain.
Smooth.
One of us has got to be. We're both... June's so reserved and I'm so shy. I worried if I never said anything, nothing would ever get said, you know? I told her about how she made me feel. Bold like I acted. Strong. Smarter and kinder than I am on my lonesome. I listed all the things I liked about her. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. She talked about the things she admired about me, like my cleverness and my humor, and how it made her want to be more open.
What happened next? Don't leave me in suspense.
Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be my girlfriend. And Captain, she said yes! And then she sneezed again. On account of the flowery soap.
As one does. What about your disinterest in physical affection? Oh, that... no. Yeah, that's a nosy-ass question. That was very sweet. Congratulations.
It's all on your account, you know? Imagine if you'd never taken me out of Edgewater. I'd have never met Junlei at all. I don't know nothing about the Vicar's capital P plan, but you've sure changed my life. So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna head to my cabin and happy scream into my pillow for like an hour.
You do that. All for one. I guess that means I completed all the companion quests. The Lying Earth. Fuck it, we'll do the rest of our Byzantium stuff. Prosperity Plaza. Oh, you're just random multi-citizen. Yeah, I don't know. I wish we could have helped the chat make it back home, and we don't never hear from Cassandra again after the whole anti-Cleo thing.
I can't wait to see those outfits.
Oh, I have to change into them first.
If I do somehow drop dead in here, promise me you'll drag my corpse somewhere with monsters. What can I do for you, darling?
Alright, yeah, that makes sense that I would have to change into them before speaking. Alright, so here we go, Iconoclast Couture.
Goodness, look at those atrocious contours. The sheer brutality of its design offends the senses and shocks the mind into a state of palpable excitement. I adore it.
One of us has to.
2 outfits remain. I can't wait to see what you'll bring me. Something shocking, I hope.
Alright. Next up is Marauder.
Oh, how grotesque. I always suspected the dramas did no justice to real marauders. Their armor is so much more hideous in person. 1 outfit left. Do hurry, my dear. The bird of inspiration is about to take flight.
I love her makeup so much. Alright, and last one. Classic Spacer.
Like a star, darling. Square your shoulders. Hand on your hip. Eyebrow cocked. Yes. Perfect. My heart is all aflutter. Yes, that's it. I have it. I know exactly what we're doing. Brace yourself, my dear. We're going to call this style Barbarian Chic. The saucy confidence of a spacer. The raw contempt of an iconoclast. The brutish musk of a marauder. And the pièce de résistance. Monster leather. 1 part Mantiqueen chitin, 3 parts hide from a raptidon's flank, and let's say, 8 strips of primal leather. No, make that 10.
I was expecting a simple modeling job.
We're revolutionizing the fashion of Byzantium. Our work is anything but simple.
I'm not some backwater laborer, Celeste. I don't work for free.
I love the way you just smolder with contempt. It makes me want to spoil you. Here, treat yourself to a nice new gun or something. Get this done for me, and I'll have you strutting about in a Jolicoeur original. You will be the envy of Byzantium.
All right. Collect Manta Queen chitin. We gotta go back to Monarch. I don't want to go back to Monarch. Fuck Monarch.
Remember that stranger?
Acropolis District. I mean, sure, let's do it. We're here.
Captain, I stand out here like a big, greasy thumb.
We all do. Just be cool. Beatrice.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals. I'm sorry, but I've already
really
exceeded
need
my
all the security.
I guess I can just go through.
State your business. Please step away. This entry is for high priority HHC business only.
But I am an executive, sir. Is this official enough for you?
Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. But this looks right. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry 32B form. Each weapon will need a separate form.
Fine.
Now, let's see. Damn it. When did I run out of forms?
I can wait.
Well, how nice for you. Do you have any idea how long it takes to request new forms? Or how many citations I'll get for impeding HHC business in the meantime? Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low on patience. So try anything funny, and they'll paint the walls with your guts.
Not if I paint them with theirs first. Alright. We are in the belly of the beast. Everyone be cool. Especially you. You're fine. Dang. Percival Platt. What a name. I can't pick that door. Gonna have to talk to this butthole. Hello, Percival?
I understand you're Maverick Johnston's new star. Well done.
Oh, news travel fast. News travels fast. What exactly do you do here?
Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible for organizing the adjutant's stationery, which is more of a hobby.
Any chance, like, exciting?
The art of arranging stationery is a never-ending source of joy and satisfaction. Will there be anything else?
I'll be on my way.
I beg your pardon, Minister Clark's former office is currently closed to solicitors.
Apologies if you can hear the blender in the background. You should get back to your desk. I saw somebody eyeing your stationery.
What? Oh dear. Thank you for reminding me. I can't stand the thought of someone else's hands touching my custom letterheads.
Wow, they are going ham with the blender. Sorry, folks. Why is that piano playing itself? I don't like that. Wow, Chairman Rockwell has a lot of snacks. And some Adreno. View priority message, Chairman. Print Ministry keycard.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters.
This is fucking bananas.
If someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Wow, fuck him. Okay, personal files. What's taking so long? Masseuse. Food reserves. The other corporations. Return to route. Send Minister Clark's message to Earth. Oh my god, it's gonna shit on me. Oh, the board is upsetty spaghetti. Alright, now I gotta go hunt for bullshit on Monarch. What's my board reputation at like now? Ooh, they too are upsetty spaghetti. Wait, I have that now. Okay, I can always go back to the Board of Accuracy and Morale later. That's gonna speed us towards the end game, I believe, so... let's do some hunting on Monarch. Yeah, we'll do some hunting on Monarch, Scylla.
So then I says, fine, I'll pay you back for all of it, with interest.
Nice one. You must have had them quaking in their heels.
I mean, I wasn't really gonna do it. I just wanted to make him feel bad.
Pay you back with interest. I gotta remember that one.
Would have felt better if it had worked. Something on your mind?
dump the iconoclast armor. And I can recycle the rest of this crap.
If you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side.
Thank you, Ada. Alright, let's go to Monarch. I guess Cascadia. It doesn't... Stellar Bay. It doesn't super matter where we land, because we'll just be fast traveling.
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
I love and appreciate you, Ada.
Remember that you are...
What's a good place to hunt these beasties? Devil's Peak Station, Devil's Peak Summit, Cascadia Turnpike, Forlorn Crossroads, Fallbrook Crossroads, Cascadia, CMP Borst Factory. Let's do Cascadia Turnpike. Those marauders, those are marauders. Damn, Pravati going ham with the hammer. I'll give Ellie a minigun, why not? Gotta find the Manta Queen. Kinda wish I'd hung onto those ingredients now. Oh, but there's one.
That's the last of them.
Oh, really? We need 3. Alright, the Raptidons, where are they? They're probably by Bayside Terrace. And then we just gotta run around Skilla for a while. Oh, you know what? The Sulfur Pit. There's a bunch over there. Who's shooting? Alright, I have one rep down flank hide. I think the whole thing with the flank hide is I can only get that from the colossal ones. Or the mega raptidons. Corrosive weakness. Suffering too many corrosive burns have made you weak against corrosive damage. Honestly, that's fine. I don't have to fight any more raptidons, and that's fair. Alright, what am I taking instead, though? Movement speed during time dilation. So if you can hear the knocking in the background, apparently we are popular today. I mean, listen, if we're taking more damage, let me do more base health. Raptidon flank hide. Cool.
Look out! Don't mess with us.
All right, where's the ship? All right, let's go to Scylla. If we can finish this thing for Celeste now, then next time we'll do one of the DLCs. I mean, given that I've already started my movie star career, maybe we'll do Murder on Eridanos. We're almost to max level. It's interesting. I like the irony that I mainly deal in energy weapons. But the two flaw perk things I've chosen are taking extra plasma and corrosive damage. It's nice though, because we very rarely deal with those. Primal hide. Primal hide. Okay, cool. 2 down, 8 more to go. Oh, there's a big boy.
Take him down. You got him.
All right, we're at 3, 4. All right, we're at 4, 5. Okay, cool beans. Just need 5 more.
Make him regret it. Don't mess with us. Nail them, Captain.
Six, 7, 8. All right, 2 more primal hides, and we will be in business. All right, 10 primal leather collected. Return to Celeste. So much back and forth.
We are now in orbit above Byzantine, Captain.
Prosperity Plaza. Apologies for the quick succession of loading screens. But it's just vastly easier on me. Okay, cool.
I've always loved.
What can I do for you, darling?
Manta Queen chitin, wrapped it on a hide, primal leather, all done.
I've been thinking of a name for this new outfit. Chimera. Crafted from the hides of 3 species of monster. While you were gone, I put in an order for one of my bespoke lapels. Solid gold, diamond encrusted. If it doesn't have one of my lapels, it's not a Jolicoeur original. Those slackwits at HPS are holding my parcel while they wait for a signature. Bureaucracy is so utterly insufferable. Be a dear and retrieve it for me.
Sure thing.
Wonderful! I'm giving you authorization to retrieve this parcel on my behalf. You truly are my savior, darling.
I've come this far. Actually, let me sell you the stuff that I can make absolutely no use of. I don't need sprint speed. Augmented toughening. Alright, I can work with that. I've gained a writ of consent.
Hortense yells at me about big.
Am I just going in the back way again? Olive.
A fine day for parcel pickups, isn't it?
I like that no one is
How may I be of
concerned that I'm using the staff entrance. Celeste Jollicure sent me. I'm here for her lapels.
If you would like to sign for a parcel, please go to window B.
Oh no, don't do this to me, baby. Hi, Wanda.
Welcome to Halcyon Parcel Service, where all parcels are guaranteed to be delivered within acceptable margins of certainty. How may I be of assistance?
I'm here to collect a parcel for Celeste Jollicure.
Let me just look that up for you. It appears that a parcel for Ms. Jollicure, Celeste is currently out for delivery.
I was told the parcel was being held here.
It was, and now it's being delivered.
It is being delivered to Ms. Jollicure's address, right?
Let me see here. A parcel for Jollicure, Celeste is being delivered to 316 Rockwell in the Byzantine Estates.
I'll be on my way.
Thank you for allowing HPS to be your only option today.
I'm gonna have to murder the chairman. I was going to eventually, I just didn't think it would have to be over a lapel.
I'll sue every technician and
I think I've figured out what you need. Besides a smoke and some privacy. Our crew's like a machine. All the parts got to work together or we'll shake ourselves to pieces.
I've never been good with metaphors, Parvati.
We need each other to work right. You need a team, and I need someone who'll be truthful with me. Even when it hurts.
The only thing I need is people staying the hell out of my business.
Lies.
True, you wouldn't be here.
You're acting real funny. You drop a wrench on your head or something?
What, it's being returned to Eridanos? That's fucking bananas. At least the stream is living up to its title. I hate it here. It's just as bad as Monarch, just different kinds of predators. Except I don't have carte blanche to shoot all of these. We have a problem, Wanda.
Halcyon Parcel Service is proud to be the colony's only parcel delivery service. How may I be of assistance?
I've got this notice to pick up a parcel.
I must respectfully ask that you calm down, please. Parcels must be picked up at window A.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. But that's all the way over there. Can't you just get it for me?
Maintaining proper window structure is imperative to the smooth operation of HPS.
I hate you all so much. Are you kidding me?
If you would like to lodge a complaint about the quality of your service, please request a complaint form at window C. If you would like to request a complaint form at window C, please make an appointment.
Let me guess, if I want to make an appointment, I have to request a form?
I see you're familiar with our company policy.
Terribly so by this point. Olive, save me.
How may I be of assistance?
I'm here to pick up a parcel for Celeste Jollicure.
Of course. If you could just verify for me that you are Jollicoeur, Celeste, or an officially authorized proxy?
I have a writ right here. Can you not see what I'm wearing? I'm obviously one of Celeste's models.
Yes, I can see by your eccentric mode of dress that you must be one of Ms. Jollicoeur's associates. Everything seems to be in order. Here you are, one parcel.
You're a dream, Olive. Thank you.
A pleasant and satisfying transaction. Halcyon Parcel Service thanks you for your patronage.
It's not the vest unless it's post-vest. I don't like how we just, like, take the cysty pigs as a staple and have not questioned it.
Ellie, we gotta talk.
My second least favorite set of 4 words. Here we go.
You gotta stop treating me with kid gloves. I'm not gonna fall to pieces if you look at me sideways, and I'm not going away. It's fine if you don't like me, but we gotta find a way to work together. For the crew.
Never heard you sound this forceful. It's kind of refreshing.
Filthy plumber. I thought we had...
Hey,
Oh no.
careful. Don't go running around in the middle of a crime scene.
What happened to Celeste?
You mean Ms. Jolie Kerr? She was reported for practicing a subversive aesthetic. We found her in her office, working on something perverse. She didn't cooperate, so we had to put her down. Never took her for a dissident sympathizer.
You killed Celeste? That's insane.
No argument there. Feels like the whole colony's going insane. What with dissidents infiltrating the walls of Byzantium, Byzantium cultural standards are enforced by Universal Defense Logistics. Universal Defense Logistics. Your first and last line of defense in the war against sedition.
Rip in peace, Celeste.
Hey, I saw that. What do you think you're doing?
I was just leaving.
I don't want any trouble out of you.
Oh, whatever. I don't even care if the board likes me now.
Take your best shot, asshole.
The board are no better. Still Braxington formal wear, Freeman business suits, Town and Country, classic semi-formal, floral plaid, classic wear Umbra, classic wear Express, red banded fedora. Celeste would want me to have these, especially since you corporate shills murdered her. I have a feeling this means that the board will be attacking me on sight. The Chimera. Dialogue skills plus 10. This would provide as much protection as standard heavy armor. Oh my gosh, I can put all my crap on it. So here, let me repair everything I have equipped. What is this? This is 52 armor? 53 armor. Plus I can, not enchant it, but I think I can put stuff on it. Or maybe not. No, I don't think so. It doesn't have any room for added stuff like that. Oh, but I can keep it on me. It only weighs 1 pound. Alright. I cannot fast travel while near hostiles. I'm not near hostiles, though. Oh, you have a little dog. Alright, let me stow the heavy grenade launcher. see, is there anything I have repeats of? I don't believe so. Where's my fancy hat? A nice hat. Alright, it's achievement time. Chimera plus a nice hat equals well-dressed. And it's the one I'm happy to have because we will be headed to Eridanos next time. Alright. I'm gonna save and call it here. Thank you all so much for joining me. And as always, we're gonna go ahead and rate someone on our way out. Let me just check to see who's online.